So Thomas and Lizzie's story is also captured in chapter 3 of the book. And over to Thomas, and then let's hear from Lizzie, because she's more important than Thomas. So Lizzie, just a quick hello from you, and you from Rembrandt Park Primary in the west of what's that side of Joburg, the east of Joburg. Do you just want to say hello to Lizzie so that everybody knows who you are?
Hi, Louise, and hi, everybody. I am Lizzie from Rembrandt Park Primary. I'm the school principal there. Thank you.
Thank you, Lizzie. And Hugh and I had a wonderful visit to Lizzie's school just a few months ago now. But Thomas, over to you.
Yeah, okay, so from the echelons of government and Prov and Gordon, we're just normal people here, and we got into the trenches pretty quickly. And I think the key for me to this partnership was the relationship that was forged. And I think the backbone of this entire program is really about stepping across the bridge. I mean, currently the context is amazing in the sense of, yes, we're on a crisis. Yes, Corona has created all sorts of anomalies, as was mentioned earlier, but it also has created all sorts of transformations and highlighted some amazing and some obviously scary aspects of our society. But definitely this whole question, we've heard it now in a number of these conversations around power, you know, power with, power over. I just think it's absolutely wonderful for me, and I'm sorry, I have to be totally controversial here, but you know, Trump looks like a doist, right? He's just an absolute representation of patriarchal power, and it's been shown up as in the world that we live in as something that has, you know, it's a has-been, it's a history lesson, and the world we're moving into. And you know, we did this partnership, Lizzie and I, almost 10 years ago, the second program in Johannesburg. And this whole introduction to Peter Block's community building was around showing up and listening and going into partnership. The whole the wording around, we don't want colonialists here. We don't want to give advice. We want to give support. We want to listen, and we want to play a role as what needs to be done. Show up, listen, and listen to what needs to be done. Every one of us in this session, and you know, it was mentioned earlier, there isn't such a thing as some charismatic leader that's going to fix everything for us. Lizzie, you know, an amazing leader, and a lot of that sort of just latent in a sense, with this society that we're in that labels gender and labels race and labels whatever, you know, otherness you want to define, when we all have this ability to do the most amazing things. And Lizzie, in terms of our relationship, she really was doing a great job at the school, but it didn't take much encouragement for her to do a whole lot more. And you know, it was a nudge here and a nudge there, and I can't say that I did that much in terms of the contribution, but she was amazing in terms of how she just took things up. You know, our community building day, our Mandela Day was an incredible success. It's still almost 10 years later a part of the DNA of that school. The community involvement is phenomenal, and she's just doing it. Her and her team are just doing a fantastic job, and I just live in awe of her. You know, where she comes from, what challenges she has overcome. You know, I've become very aware of my white male face and what that means when I show up in a room, and sometimes it's best for me just to keep quiet, because it's, you know, the privilege is there all over, and my contribution may not always be the contribution of saying or doing something, but maybe just listening and being around. So yeah, you know, I remembered Louise very well, the session with Peter Block. I think it was his last session, and you did the first day and he did the second day. I think there was quite what do you call it? You had to step in for Peter, so you did an amazing job on that first day. But when Peter heard that I was one of the few CEOs in the room, he felt sorry for me. and I know why. And in getting to know Lizzie, I also learned that, you know, principal's job is quite a lonely job. You don't often know where to turn to because pretty much anybody or everybody wants something from you. So how do you manage in that space, and how do you manage effectively? Because guess what? We're also just humans, and we also sometimes just don't know, and people expect us to know. So it's been also that journey of just getting to know somebody, and I think I can leave it to Lizzie to talk about what she's achieved at the school, and she did it with very little help from my side. But in the process, we've become friends, and I'm just in awe and admire what she's achieved. And by the way, I just need to add that because I think PFP being sold as a CSI program that assists and gets people like myself into environments where education is struggling. But guess what? The flip side is that the progress and the leadership lessons are absolutely incredible for anybody, and that applies to a business leader as much as it applies to a principal. So you know, my organization is a change organization as a result of it, and I, you know, I'm feel quite privileged that quite a few of my colleagues joined us. Our marketing manager decided no, she's put it out to all our staff, so there's quite a few of them listening, and I think we've done an amazing job going through COVID. Because we have a whole lot of partners in the business, as opposed to, you know, a few sort of charismatic, leadership, charismatic driven patriarchs in the organization, and everybody else is waiting for instructions. So very, very pleased at the benefits that our organization has gleaned out of the learning that I've gone through.
Thomas, I want to come back to you about that. I'm going to go to Lizzie. Just want a quick response or quick reflection. I remember when Peter was here, we had those pictures that we created with the key outcomes of that workshop. And one of the things that he said to us at the time, and I'm sure you remember it, is he says that community changes the context in which action takes place. And I am 100% sure that our organization, Symphony of South Africa, would not have survived during this COVID period if it wasn't that we had such a strong community, that there wasn't just you know, one charismatic leader and everybody waiting for the, as you say, the patriarch to give instructions. That it was very much 70 citizens who stepped up and did what they could in their area. Because they cared about the community, and there was such a sense of abundance and citizenship and, you know, commitment and action, which is everything that we've been teaching for 10 years. And then when the difficulty came, we saw that in action. I don't know whether that was your experience at Multitech.
Absolutely. No, somebody shared a picture with me the other day, and, you know, imagine power being transmitted through an internet line, right? You can only do it in tension. You cannot do it in compression, because that line will just crumble. And power is not transmitted through authority, it's transmitted through behavior, through example, through influence. Simple picture for me.
Fantastic, thank you. So Lizzie told Theo and I a story. She said the first day when she and Thomas were in, I think this was Stephanie Dawson-Kossa was the learning process facilitator, and they had to choose their partners. And Thomas was this big, imposing Afrikaans, well, not Afrikaans, but German man. And Lizzie's very, she was a bit shy at the time. And so by the time they kind of finally got themselves organized, everybody else already had their partners. And so Lizzie and Thomas being partnered was just luck, Lizzie, wasn't it? Nobody designed it. It just happened. So do you want to share something about your experience of having Thomas as your friend? And it's been a long friendship now, more than 6 years.
It has been now, it started in 2012 when we were at my school where we started. It was the second cycle of this program. And me and Thomas were the only one left after everyone has chosen their partners. So it was like an obvious case that Lizzie is Thomas' partner because we were the only two left. But you know, finding out that I am now a partner with a chief executive officer of a very successful a company, the company in Captain Park, not far away from my school. I was like, I really like appreciated it, and I took a pride on it to say I am part of, and I am in Thomas' life. I have learned a lot from Thomas. Thomas will tell you I was really very shy when we started with this program, much as I was not able to even approach anyone in that room. I was even shy to go to choose my partner. So when we were meeting, you know, going to different workshops that were organized by Louis and meeting there, I will most of the time just not talk. Thomas will do too much of talking but interrogating and wanting me to talk, but I ended up talking. There was this one program that we attended, the one workshop. It was the time to think. And I was like always like just listening and thinking that, is it me with this guy? Is it me with this chief executive officer? But I have learned a lot from Thomas. Firstly, we had a program where our learners, the learners from Rembrandt Park, will visit Thomas' company when we have career week, where learners will choose their careers, but we organize that they are going to go to Thomas' company where they will learn different careers. They will go to different offices, the grade 7s of Rembrandt Park. And we have been doing that. It was only last year where we did not do it. I don't remember exactly what was the challenge why we didn't do it, but since 2012, we have been visiting Thomas' company with my grade 7 learners. I was also forming part of that. I'll make sure that I go with them and I'll visit different offices with my learners and with the grade 7 teachers. Thomas will take care of everything, will cater, give food to the kids, the transport, they will pay for us, for us to be there. And when we started, every week we will submit reports, like fortnightly. It was between me and Thomas who will choose where to meet so that we can agree of what we are going to submit to the program organizers. We were alternating. I'll go to Maltotech, and sometimes like the following week, Thomas will come to me and we will form like that. We will complete the report and submit it. But it was like sort of like an individual report, which we agreed that it's going to be like this. But for me to go to Thomas' office, I've learned so many things. I've learned that, you know, I can move my school from where it was to be like operating like a business. Why are schools operating like this? I ask myself those questions. Hence, you'll come to my school now, you'll find that this is a very clean environment, it's a welcoming environment. You go to the foyer, you'll find a cup, tea, all the machines of teas and so on. And another thing with Thomas, we agreed that we are going to make sure that we change the academic results where they were to somewhere. We wanted to move them from 60 to somewhere, and we came up with programs. What is it that we can change to change all these results? We started with looking at the teachers and bringing in programs that will develop the teachers development programs. We also looked at the community where we were. Are these community members involved in whatever we are doing at school? And we also look at the learners. Are these learners really wanting to be here? And we said we need to organize things that will bring them together. And that was when we agreed that we're gonna have Madiba Day that same particular year. It was 2012. And we called all the community members. You can't believe the response that we received from the community members. And from there, we could see that we can bring everyone in. And we moved our results from 60, more especially literacy and numeracy, maths and English, from 60 to 90. That's how we performed. And we're still keeping it like that even now. And after that, I said to myself, but we cannot limit ourselves to this. We did not have any musical instrument at Rembrandt Park Primary School. And I sold that idea to Thomas that I want my school to have music instruments. And that's when now there was this celebration in Cape Town. And I was invited. I went to Cape Town, Steenkamp High School. It's something like that. I went there. It was in the evening. I came back. I said, Thomas, this is what I have seen. This is what I have learned. And I want my school to have musical instruments. You know, that same year, not long ago, 2 years ago, we bought all sort of musical instrument. As I am talking to you now, my school has got an orchestra, a choir. And we are the first school in our district office to have that. And as when we have visitors, you know, learners will play all those instruments. We have trumpets, we have everything that you may name it. And it's not only that, you know, as Thomas has already highlighted that we are friends, which I'm going to dispute that. Thomas, you are not my friend. You are part of my family. It's like we have also even introduced our families to one another, to each other. My husband knows that there is Thomas in my life. My Thomas family knows that there is Lizzie in Thomas' life. So it doesn't only end at school. It is beyond that. And I just want to say to Louis and Stephanie, who introduced me to this program, not really Stephanie, but there was a parent at my kids' school who introduced me to the program, that I really thank you so much, because I have moved my school from good to great. Where I am now, my school is operating in a very high level. We are effective. And I mean, I'm managing effective teams. And I am just very blessed to be part of this program. Though now we are not really like serious as before, not being controlled, but we still meet with Thomas. We still continue, we still like sharing ideas. If I have some challenges at my school, I really know that I'll pick up the phone call and phone Thomas, and Thomas will be able to advise and listen to me. And that's all what I wanted to share with you. Not really all, but the little bit of it that I...
Thank you so much to Lizzie.